Coach PJ here. Do you ever think about how you want to be found online and what that might look like to a prospect? And the reason I bring that up is because oftentimes we don't put ourselves into the shoes, into the position of our prospects and give them the opportunity to find us in the best possible light online. So I'm going to go through a list, and I have a list here of things that you should consider as you look at your online presence and how a prospect goes online and how do they Google for you. Let's start there. What do they Google? Do they Google your name, Coach PJ Weiland? Do they give you a moniker, an attorney, a professional, do they accountant? Do they actually put something with your name? And Google yourself like a prospect would Google you. If they'd known you, if they met you, and or if they don't know you, how would they find you? Business coach, attorney, real estate attorney. What would they Google, and what cities would they Google? What would they put in there so that they could find you? So that's one way to look at it. And then notice what comes up in the listing and which ones come at the top. And kind of work your way through that, because at the top of the listing is probably a LinkedIn or a Facebook, because they get high Google rankings. And you want to then make sure that everything on your Facebook, everything that comes up, every link, every social media, every phone number, website address, anything that comes up has the correct links in it, has the correct information in it. You don't want them finding inaccuracies in your information, because it reflects poorly on yourself, poorly on your brand, and can make it difficult for people to find you. So let me give you a couple of ideas on how to do that and how to do that well. If you go into a incognito window, which is a way in which you can go into a search, a Google search, and go in as in incognito, which means that you don't have any of your cookies. All the things that you've traditionally searched do not taint your search. So incognito is a really helpful tool that allows you to do some searching anonymously. Let's start with just Google, which I talked about. Google yourself, Google your name, Google your information, see what starts to come up. Then as you start looking at it, if you do a Google, and you should have a listing, the listing of yourself should be on the right-hand side of that page. It should have your information, your website, your address, your business hours, all the Google listing type information, because that is a way in which you stand out, and that should be your listing. So look for the Google listing, and that's free. It doesn't cost anything. You just have to make sure you apply for it and put the right information into Google and manage it. Sometimes people move and don't change that, and that's a problem. Or change your phone number or website address and don't redirect it. So that's really helpful to maintain your profile on Google listing. If you have multiple websites, which some people do because they have multiple brands, you will want to make sure that your most recent website, or the website that has your prominent brand on it, is listed. And if your old one's listed, or if your old one is there and you haven't redirected because you had a name change or you had something that changed, see if you can't redirect the old domain name to your new one, and they both go to the new one, so that you don't have a confusing message out there. Well, who are they? Are they part of this brand? Are they that brand? And likely your old website isn't being updated, so it is aging with information or has outdated information. So you definitely want to make sure that your website is popping up and is the correct website. When you get onto your website, make sure your social media links all work. And I know that sounds so basic, but I mean it from the standpoint of they need to work. They need to go to the sites you want them to go to. If you are using a Twitter and you really aren't using Twitter or an Instagram or a Pinterest, and you want to put it on there because you think more social media buttons are better, that's not always the case. Make sure that they're meaningful links and they actually send you to the right place. And they are sending you to your company page, or they're sending you to your individual profile, whatever makes the most sense for your brand and your identity. But make sure the links work and make sure they're meaningful. Really important. in your email marketing. If you're sending out emails, oftentimes in the bottom of an email, you have the opportunity to put social links. Make sure those links are accurate. We often will copy over a template in email marketing and say, okay, the next email is going to be a model of this one. And we forget that the social media links are there. We don't always maintain them as well as we should. So just make sure that they are accurate and they're still going to the places that you want them to go to. If you do events and you actually post the events on your website, this is a place where you need to make sure that the events are kept current. You don't want to go out to your website and find one from 2020. August of 2020, we're having this event. It makes you look dated. It makes you look like you don't keep your information current. And why, if there was events in 2020, why are there not events in 2021 or 2022 or current? So it definitely raises some questions for folks about how you keep your house, the housekeeping you generally do. So make sure the event pages are kept current. Your social media links on anything you do, make sure that they're current in that space. If you do YouTube, if you do LinkedIn, if you do Facebook, they all have places for your URLs, for websites, for links. Make sure that they all reflect the links you want them to. All of your social media has that option, and you need to just maintain it. And thinking about it, Facebook, you have a Facebook page, you have a Facebook company page perhaps, you might even have a Facebook professional page. Make sure that they're all reflecting what you want them to reflect, and that when you direct them from another place, they go to the page you want. And most of the time, folks do business with people, so people is the predominant element, particularly on LinkedIn and on Facebook. It is people. So consider that. You also have like LinkedIn profile where you can put in phone number, email, address, websites. That should all be current as well. If you belong to organizations, whether it's chambers, whether it's organizations in your town, networking groups, make sure they have all of your current information. People change, things happen, your address, your website, your phone number, things get updated, and oftentimes we don't change them. And that needs to be changed. If you have any redirects, that's also a place that needs to be maintained as well. Your email signature on your signature line, you often will have basic information about how to contact you. Make sure your email signatures are current. They have all the right social media links, but they also have the right email signatures so people don't have a problem contacting you. And there's really 4 signatures. There's a email signature for a new email, for reply email, for your phone, new email, and for your phone, a reply email. All of those should have some basic, at minimum, contact information. I can't tell you the number of times I go to find somebody's phone number and pull up an old email and it says, "Thanks, Dave." And you're like, okay, wait a minute. I want to call this person. Why does Dave not tell me how to contact him? So that's important. If you do a blog, it's really easy if you stop doing it to look outdated. See if you can't take the dates off a blog. If you have evergreen blogs or evergreen material that doesn't become outdated, make sure you remove the dates so it doesn't look dated. It just has information. That is an option on many blogs, or you can relist blogs under new dates if you want to do something like that as well. But those are my ideas for what you need to be doing to keep current. And the last one, but definitely not the least, is your headshots. Make sure that photo of yourself is good, is clear, and is current. I like to update my headshot every 12 to 18 months. I'm about due. I'm about 18 months in, so I will be updating my headshot here shortly, and then I can spread that around all of my social media, and that's a good time to do housekeeping and make sure everything is correct because I have to update it everywhere. So if you like this information, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Your Business Profit, helping you get the business you deserve. Until next time.